All right, welcome everybody. This is Walking Purpose Podcast. This is episode 20. For everyone that's listening, Walking Purpose is all about men talking about mental health, men talking about growth, men talking about just life in general, just having a good time. Just great men all around the world uplifting each other. The goal is to uplift kings and change the world. Now, today is episode 20. I am here with a special man who helped me out with my fitness journey, my life journey, gave me great advice on this fitness for his life. This is my big brother, y'all. This is a great man right here. Get used to this face. Get used to this voice. His name is Sidney Porter. Feel free to introduce yourself, sir.
First off, I want to say it is an honor and privilege for you and your audience to finally have I watch wearing, jet flying, Uber riding, best of the best of the best of the best of the best on your podcast today. I am Sidney Porter. I am a professional wrestler for MCW as well as other organizations around the country on the East Coast, from Pennsylvania to Maryland to Virginia to Georgia to Florida. I've been all around. I've been doing this for 18 years. Ooh. And some days I feel it. Some days I'm like, man, I'm still 25, but I am really 38. And like I said, some days I feel 68, some days I feel 28. But it's all a great journey. I listen to Coop as he acknowledged his woman, so I'm gonna acknowledge mine as my queen, just like he acknowledged his as his queen. I have my little princess. She is 4 months. She turned 4 months last week, and she's just my everything right now.
Nice.
She is my newfound inspiration on everything that I do right now. So, like when I go to the gym, she is my motivation. When I'm out there wrestling, she is my motivation. Not only because I want her to come to my wrestling shows and see what it is I do, but also in 16, 17 years when she tried to bring home that first boy, I'll be ready. You seen Bad Boys and
yeah.
I got a couple of brothers who are ready. This is her here.
Oh wow!
So she's everything right now. But other than that, I work for Southwest Airlines. I've been there 5 years. After I left Friendship, I went back and was working at Duval High School doing substitute teaching and security and whatever they needed me to do around there, I was doing it. But I knew I needed something full-time, so I was talking to one of my friends at a wrestling show who worked for him, and he was like, hey, you need to come work for Southwest. And it was the best move I've made. I wish I did it a lot sooner, but everything happens in due time. Maybe I needed to come to Friendship to meet you and get you off that Norcore and get you off of those marathon workouts that you
Jesus.
Like, I'll come into work, he's like, yeah, man, I went to the gym last night. What time did you leave? Man, I left at 10 o'clock. What time did you get there? I got there at 4 o'clock. What did you work? I worked everything till it hurt. I'm like, all right, what you working tomorrow? Everything till it hurt. Okay, cool.
I don't know how I did that.
let me school you on this. Let me give you a scoop of this good stuff. But
yeah.
That blossomed into something good. We both like wrestling, and that's what I've been doing for the past 18 years. You liked wrestling, you like watching, so we were always coming in and talk wrestling and talk about your can I say your power rankings? I mean,
Yeah, you
um,
can say that. I mean,
yeah, but
wild single days at the time.
yeah, doing a long time ago,
I
long
forgot about that.
yeah. So me, you, and Powell used to have long conversations about everything, about wrestling, about life, about just where you're going in life,
That was
and
a great. That's a great man.
yeah. I ran into him at the gym, and I got his number. I know recently, like maybe a year or two ago, his wife passed away, so he was dealing with that. But he's still in good spirits. He was still working out before the pandemic. I haven't seen him since the pandemic, but I'm hoping he's doing well. I need to find his number and give him a call. Make sure he's still good. But other than that, I mean, I enjoyed my time in friendship. I mean, we had our little system that we had going on where we we didn't we didn't talk, like, we didn't take the kids to administration. Like, we handled it right then and there. You had your team Cooper and you had your team Porter. I had the team Porter was the one that was a little rough around the edges, but they were still all good kids. They just needed that tough love. It was like good cop, bad cop. Like they over there crying and all that. He's like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be. Now, what you got your fist ball up for, man? I'm ball your fist like you gonna hit somebody. But I mean, the kids appreciated that, and
They did.
it made the job fun. It made the job easier. Um, it bonded you and I, which I appreciated. Because I mean, even though you're a few years younger than me, I'm still influenced by you. Like, I still, look at what you post on Facebook, and with you and your fiance, and like, I mean, it influenced me, and it just, with everything, how you overcame depression, and then I'm happy to include you in my circle. Like, I used to always want to hang with guys, who ran around with, different, just run around just up to no good, really. I mean, not like major stuff like, killing or anything like that, but just, I always wanted to hang with, the drinkers, and the ones that just ran out, just doing nothing with their life. And I felt like that. I mean, if I didn't have a strong mind, I might have ruined, everything. I might have ruined the life that I have now. I might have ruined my wrestling career. But once, I start weeding some of those people out and bringing in the good people like yourself and like a few of my other friends, and yeah, that circle got smaller, but you know, it's not always about quantity, it's about quality. So
Facts. Yeah.
um and I apologize if I'm rambling, but
Yeah.
that's yeah. So
You're good.
but yeah, I mean, I'm happy to include you in my circle. Like I said, when I first met you, I'm just like, man, who is this dude, doing every body part, and and just like always, just like, I'm like, cool, just calm down, just relax. Everything, that all that's extra stuff. Like, remember I used to always say extra shit? Like, that's extra shit. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
and I
Yeah.
apologize if I'm cussing on your podcast
No, you're
here.
fine. Let it go.
But yeah, it's like when I first met you, I'm just like, this dude need like something. I don't know. Like, he just. But then I watched you grow over the past. It's been 10 years since I've known you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like in these past 10 years, you've really grown into somebody I admire. Um,
Appreciate that.
so it's yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, I feel like we live in our best life right now.
Yeah. I definitely feel like that too. To see where we're at now and doing things that you're doing, how happy you are, and how happy I am. If we literally can watch ourselves in the hallway just having those conversations, you're like,
Yeah.
wow, this is how it's
Yeah.
going to turn out. And let me just say to anybody that's listening, when I say this is my big brother, because I went to him for a lot of advice when I was like in my roughest stage of my life, where I felt like I had a lot of anger, going on pretty much, and that was the only person I would talk to at my job. You know, I'd be frustrated about something, and I'm like, man, I feel like this, and he's like, cool, chill,
Yeah.
chill. Somebody's listening, having that strong brotherhood, and having that man to talk to about your problems. There's nothing wrong with that, because you never know how far that can go. That can lead you to something great. You never know. So
Mm.
definitely, man, bro, appreciate you for real.
Hey, no problem. No
Appreciate you.
problem.
And
Yeah.
just speaking of growth, 2020 has been a year. Well, most people look at it as a year of bad things happening. Of course, yeah, bad things happen in 2020. But 2020 is also a year where a lot of people are growing. A lot of people are branching off in their own, starting their own business, even taking great steps. Um, how you feel about 2020? Your mindset right now? What's going on currently, and what you got going on about 2020? Pretty much.
Um, as far as 2020, 20 is a very eye-opening year. Like, it's like you're seeing a lot of things come to light, yes. And there's a lot of bad things going on, from this coronavirus to the Hornets to the police brutality and everything that's going on in the world. But you just got to look at the bright side of things. I look at it like this. My daughter was born in 2020. And I so at my job, they offer FMLA, but they offer baby bonding, and but it's unpaid. So I was just going to take like 2 weeks um, off, work, unpaid, and then go back to work and hustle to try to make that money back up. Probably work some doubles, work on my days off, stuff like that. But with this coronavirus, they offer something called emergency time off, where they paid us a percentage of our salary just to be at home pretty much. So instead of taking 2 weeks off, I they let us pick a month. They let us pick, April, May, June, or July. Um, so I picked May because she was due in May, but of course, babies are always born early. So she was born about 2 weeks early. So I did have those 2 weeks off of, unpaid or whatever, but I was able to have May off to be with her. So instead of being off 2 weeks and then having to go back and hustle, I was off for 6 weeks and still got paid something.
That's
It wasn't like a whole lot, it wasn't my full salary, but it was something to where um I can, spend time with her. I can spend 6 weeks with her and don't have to worry about money. And the gyms wasn't open anyway, so that's when I had to get creative with the workout.
Yeah.
I had to go outside. I got into DDP yoga. I've been meaning to get into that for years, but I was finally able to. I was like, well, the gyms aren't open. I'm kind of tired of running outside. It's raining outside. I can't go outside. I'm tired of just doing push-ups and squats and, doing all these, different creative workouts. But I also, I got into yoga and, worked on my flexibility. And I was able now, although the gym and wrestling is therapy for me, I felt like I was going on autopilot. I was on autopilot for some time. Like I was just like go go go. Like um, I I was supposed to wrestle on March 14th. That was the day of my baby shower. But I was just like, oh, I can go to the baby shower and then go straight to wrestling. And then I was supposed to wrestle the next week, and then the next week. And I was just like, go, go, go. Gym, wrestling, gym, wrestling, gym, wrestling. I wasn't taking a step back and looking at everything that I had, like, my daughter and, all that stuff. Like, I wasn't taking the time out um, to see, the good things that I have in my life, because I was on autopilot. I was always worrying about wrestling. And I wasn't injured, but I was hurt. There's a difference between. But I had a lot of nagging pain, my knee, my shoulder. I injured my shoulder last year, but I still kept going. Like, I still was going to the gym. I still was going to wrestling training. I still was wrestling on shows, still flying to Florida wrestling on shows. I wasn't taking a step back to letting those, pains heal. So with the coronavirus, it gave me, even though I didn't like it, I didn't like having to stop doing shows, but I was able to go to my baby shower and actually enjoy it. And and then have to worry about, oh, well, I gotta hurry up and get out of here so I can get to the show. And I was like, I always tell people, like, when I was training, I would tell people, hey, maybe you need take a week off from the gym just to get your motivation back, to get your mind back in the game, and so your body can heal a little bit. But I never took that advice myself. But with the coronavirus, it gave me that time to listen to my own advice and actually take a break. And now I feel like I'm getting stronger again in the gym. I'm picking up weight. It's probably not all the weight that I want. Like, I gained like a quarantine 20, but like, I don't really feel it. I mean, like, I feel, I feel good about it, but I still want to drop some of it because I feel like, it's kind of hindering my mobility a little bit. But I don't look at, I try not to look at the news too much, even though it's hard to get away from it, because it's just all negative. Like, I try not, I mean, yes, I get on, when I wake up, I'll get on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and, see what's going on as soon as I wake up. But I try not to let it get to me and bother my day. I just be like, okay, we know this is going on. This happened in, Atlanta, or this happened, here. And okay, that's over and done with. Let me just move on with my life and go to work, go to the gym, get back home. Like, that's all I do. Work, gym, wrestling training on Mondays or Thursdays, and then home. Like, I don't want to hang out like that. I just, like I said, I just look at the bright side of the coronavirus, what it allowed me to branch off and do.
Yeah, that's a great point for anyone who's listening. And I agree with what you said. The coronavirus unfortunately happened. Unfortunately, people are getting sick. But there is a silver lining to a lot of bad things that happened also. It gave people a time to reset. It gave people time to think. It gave people time to recreate. It gave people time to get close with their family, their loved ones. So anyone is listening, enjoy those moments you have of having that time to spend more time with your loved one, spend more time with your spouse, with your kids, with your relatives, having that free time. And then so when you do go back to what looks like normalcy, get that hunger back, get that fight back, whether it's in the gym, whether it's doing your own podcast or doing your own music video, whatever you decide to do. You still had that hunger, you still had that motivation for anyone that's listening, pretty much. And yeah, because that's major, just having that reset. You're like, you know what? I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that. I feel the same way. Like, as far as the gym, I feel like my hunger is back how it was years ago.
Yeah.
I ain't been this hungry about taking care of myself in a long time.
Yeah.
Before that started, I was like, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. But it's like now it's like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
things opening back up. I'm gonna train harder. I'm getting stronger. I'm freaking 260 something. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm like 245.
Wait a minute. That's crazy.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you and I are both into supplements, the pre-workouts,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
um, but like during that whole like I always say I need to take a break off this stuff, and I never do. Like I always get to the gym, like, yeah, I'll take a break next week and just go ahead and mix it up and go on to the gym.
Yeah.
But during those 3 months where the gym wasn't open, I wasn't taking any kind of pre-workouts. So when the gyms opened back and I started taking them again, it was just like,
Oh my god.
yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go. Like, so
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
it's reset.
Yeah, and probably for having that reset, that's what life is all about, having that reset and being able to bounce back from situations. This kind of goes into our next segment, the next question pretty much. Have you ever suffered a major setback in life, as far as like depression, as far as like suicide, anything like that? And if so, feel free to share your story pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, I have. I actually lost my sister in '94, February of '94, February 2nd, actually, of '94. She was 18. And when she passed away, well, she got shot. Um,
Oh, wow.
Her boyfriend's nephew killed him and her.
Okay.
And I was actually with my father when he went to the morgue to identify the body. So they showed him the picture. So of course, me, a 12-year-old kid, I want to see. I was like, let me see, and I seen the picture. And this is 26 years ago, and I still have that picture in my mind today. Like, I still see that picture occasionally. But when she died at 18, I was 12 years old, and I was just like, I won't make it past 18.
Right.
Like I was like, when I turned 18, I was like, this is it. Like I'm gonna die this year. Like this is it for me. I never imagined going to college. I never imagined anything. Just I just thought that after 18, I was gonna be it. But also a couple of years later, I was in 8th grade, and I started dating a girl. My first little serious girlfriend, um, and she, we were always talking on the phone. And I went out of town. I went to South Carolina to stay with my grandmother,
Okay.
like I always did. And so we wrote each other because this is before cell phones and all that
Right.
stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I think cell phones just really coming out, but it was the big, Zach Morris phone.
Yeah.
But we didn't have cell phones, and I couldn't call from my grandmother's house because she didn't have long distance on her phone. So we wrote each other letters, and I wrote a 4-page letter. And this is why that song, like I never did like that song after that. But
Oh, the Aaliyah song.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I love Aaliyah, but it's
Oh,
just
okay.
that song. It took a while for me to get over that song because I wrote this girl a 4-page letter, and while I was out of town, I found out that she was on punishment. I didn't know what she was on punishment for. Like, my friend told me, she was like, yeah, she's on punishment for, I'll let her explain what she's on punishment for. So I was like, all right, cool. They said she gets off punishment on this day, so you could talk to her then. So that day came. I remember I was in my kitchen fixing some eggs. I noticed I could remember this stuff,
Detail.
20
Got it. Okay.
years ago.
Cool.
But like I was fixing some eggs, and my friend called me, and she was like, yeah, Sidney, I don't care. It's plenty of Tiffany's in the world. So yeah, Tiffany don't want to go with you anymore. And I'm like, what? Like, why? And she explained to me that while I was out of town, one of her ex-boyfriends moved back in town. And, you know, um, they were, you know, messing around, and her mother caught them, and that's why she was gonna punish them. So she broke up with him. So I had my first heartbreak. So I went into depression, and I actually contemplated suicide. Like, I was sitting on my couch with the knife held up to, it was a butter knife, but it was still a knife held up to my wrist because I was going to slit my wrist.
Right.
But my friend talked me out of it. But I still dealt with depression from, again, from my sister. And then my father left my mother. And me and my father are real cool. Like, we're close. I'm close with both of my parents. I mean, but he just, you know, my father's a player, you know. But, you know, he left, and I was dealing with all that. And I was a fat kid, too. So I got teased a lot. I was 287 pounds at 13. So, you know, I got teased. I had kids in 8th grade. I told them, I said, I want to be a professional wrestler. And they laughed at me, of course, and said I'd never be a professional wrestler. I wouldn't even make the wrestling team in high school. I would never do this. I would never do that. And so I was depressed and contemplated suicide again because all these kids were teasing me because I was a fat kid and I didn't know how to get all this weight off. But then my so wrestling pretty much saved my life, pretty much. Because like I would go home and watch wrestling. While everyone was running home to watch Jerry Springer, I was going home on Mondays, and this was the beginning of the Attitude Era. I was running home on Mondays to see who Stone Cold was going to stun tonight.
Wow, yeah.
He was like stunning everyone from Vince McMahon to Sergeant Slaughter to Owen Hart. That's when wrestling was hot. So, you know, watching wrestling and knowing that's what I want to do, that's what saved my life. And then also my wrestling coach, Coach Prue, he was a personal trainer. So he knew how to help me lose weight. So he helped me out with my nutrition. And actually his birthday is today. So you know, so I guess whenever he hear this, I'm gonna make sure I send him the link to listen to this. I want to say happy birthday to him. But he helped me lose weight by telling me telling me what to eat, telling me what not to eat. Had me out there running with the trash bag on and the sweatsuit, and you know, and just monitoring me and helping me lose all that weight. So when I went to college and I, you know, really started going to the gym, and I was just going over stuff that I was reading and all that stuff. And and it was some ladies that were coming to the gym. So I was like, so I seen them, you know, had some bad form. So I was like, hey, why don't you do this way? Why don't you do this way? And you know, I helped them one day. The next day they'll come in, and all of a sudden I'm their trainer. So I started training. I wasn't looking at anything for it. Like, I wasn't looking for money or anything. I was just helping them out. But at the end of the semester, they actually paid me $100 a piece. And I was like, I get paid to do this? So I went to my wrestling coach. At that time, he had his own personal training studio. So I went to him and I was like, hey, you get paid to this? He was like, yeah. He was like, you know, I train this person 3 times a week, charging this amount. This is how much I make from them a month. Like, he broke down all the numbers for me. And he was like, look, you need to go get certified. So I went and got certified, and that was 20 years ago, and I'm still certified now. Like, I don't train for a gym, but I still stay certified just in case I might decide to dabble in it again, or just, you know, for my own knowledge. I stay certified. So Coach Prue and wrestling pretty much saved my life because I'm like, all right, one day I'm gonna be there. Like I'm gonna show them that I'm gonna make it. And I mean, I'm not in WWE yet.
The word is yet. It's going to happen.
But it's like I'm still at it. Like
Yeah.
I'm like doing training. I'm 38. Most of these dudes are like in their early 20s. Like we even got a 18-year-old in there, and I'm still hanging with them. So, age is nothing but a number. But just watching wrestling. Like I have it on the TV now. It's Wednesdays, NXT.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, just watching it and going out there and getting in front of the crowd, and I could be someone else. Like I can leave all my worries outside of the bingo hall or fire hall, wherever I'm wrestling at. I can leave that outside and go in there and be someone else. The same with the audience. It's like those people have their and I know I'm probably going off on a tangent, but it all ties in together. When those people come in there, a lot of them have problems, they're whatever, their parent might be sick, or money might be an issue or whatever, but they still come in there, pay their 10, 15, 20, $25, and just to get away from all that for 2.5 hours and be entertained by it. So they're leaving all their worries out the door, just like I'm leaving all my worries out the door. And while most of the time I play a bad guy, just seeing those kids' face when I get beat, or if I get beat, it and see how happy they are because I lost. It kind of does something to you. Like you're like, hey, that's it's entertainment. Like just seeing how happy they are, because a lot of especially the boys, just seeing them there with their fathers, and it makes me remember when I used to go to all the events with my father. Like he used to take me to USA Arena to watch wrestling, and seeing those kids with their parents watching me just makes me remember when I used to go with my father. And my father's usually there in the audience too. He don't really be paying attention because he know the game, but like he know how it is. He knows he know I'm just out there entertaining, but just seeing him out there, following my whole career pretty much, that makes me happy too. So I know I got away from the whole, did I battle? But I mean, like all that has helped me overcome, depression that I dealt with as a kid. Just, going through the amateur ranks, losing weight, getting into pro wrestling, getting out there entertaining has help keep my mind off of things that used to bring me down, and getting out there in the ring and going to the gym, it all just, it's therapy.
It is.
That keeps that depression at bay pretty much.
Yeah, it keeps it away. This is why I say I feel like you didn't go off on a tangent, because I feel like everything you said ties them together. You said what you've been through as a child, and you found that outlet. You found the outlet to make you forget about your problems, and you slowly start to work on yourself. Not only are you losing weight, then you find your passion at the same time.
Right.
And then you get that same in return. It's like now you see how it was when you was a kid going to events with your dad. Now you see another person doing that. So everything ties in together with life. I've been through the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? So going through depression. Okay, now I got the gym. I can lift weights. I can forget about this problem. I forget about that problem. Now I got martial arts. Okay, I can forget about this. Now I add that. So anybody who's listening, your story is tied into your victory. So what you go through now or what you go through as a child, whether you're a man, female, whatever the case may be, your victory is coming. Your victory can be, one day it could be your paycheck. One day your victory can be you telling your story to somebody else. Everything is tied in together pretty much. Like, for example, like I was saying, when I was going through depression, the gym was my outlet. Just like Sidney was saying, going to the gym. Just sometimes you will just go in the gym and just slam some weights. And there's nothing wrong with that. That
Unless
can,
you're in
yeah.
Planet Fitness.
If you're Planet Fitness, whatever. But yeah, but having that outlet, whatever your outlet is, just do it. Be like drawing, writing, what the case may be, just do it. And that leads to my next conversation. What would you say to your younger self? This is you right now talking to your younger self when you was 12 years old. You don't have a face-to-face conversation. What would you say to your younger self?
Don't give up. Stay persistent. You will be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will be okay. You will be telling your story to your kids and grandkids.
Good point.
You just gotta stay consistent.
Yeah. Excellent point. Because a lot of times when we're going through that motion, you want to hear somebody say, it's going to be okay. In those moments of depression, you feel like you're alone. You feel like no one understands you. You feel like, am I the only one going through this? And it's amazing. The more I realize it, the more it's like unfortunate that it's common, with us males, pretty much. Not wanting to talk about what we're going through, not wanting to release those problems, pretty much. For anyone's listening, and if you are going through that, it's going to be okay. Sometimes you need that, I'm going to be all right, and that does feel good. You will have victory at the end of the story, pretty much. So
yeah, it's like growing up, I used to like. I know it's common now, with social media, cyberbullying, all that stuff. Like depression is common now, but back then, in the '90s when you're going through before the Facebook, before the Twitters, before the Black Planet and MySpace and all that stuff. I know I sound old with that, but I used to think that was. I didn't think that was a problem that I can go through, but I didn't think that um, it was something that people like me or people I know can go through. I'm like, oh, that's a other people type thing. Like I never thought it'd be something that I would go through or someone that I know.
I get what you're saying.
That will go through it. I just, but now, with social media and with just meeting different people in life, it's a common thing, and also I never really thought it was something that I could talk about because again, like you said, I didn't think I was like, oh, no one will understand me, like, so I'm just gonna bottle all this up and just keep it inside me. I'm not going to decide because people might think, it's weird or they might not just understand it. So I'm just going to bottle it up and let it manifest to just a problem. But then, you meet people in life that have those you know, same problems you that you're dealing with that you can talk to. And again, that's the point of this podcast. It's okay to talk about it. It's you won't be thought of any different if you talk to someone, whether it's whether it's your parent or whether it's a teacher or a security guard or a substitute teacher or just someone in the gym or wherever. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to talk about it. Don't let it manifest and build up. Release it. Talk to someone. Talk to anyone. Um, anyone you feel like you can talk to. Just reach out and touch someone. And it's very easy now. With again, you could type something to someone and just vent. But it's okay to talk about it. So you know, yeah.
Agree. Agree 1,000%. And it's okay to talk, to reach out to somebody. And like a lot of times, I saw somebody post something on social media. It was the lady was shaking the soda up, right? You know how you shake a soda up over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you balling all those emotions up, balling all those feelings up, balling all those angers up, balling all those hurt feelings, breakup, and all that. So remember, you're still shaking the soda. And by the time you open it, boom, it explodes. It's the
Mm-hmm.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
You're carrying all the emotion up. You're carrying depression. You're carrying suicide. You ain't talking about it. Are you okay? No, I'm fine. I'm all right. But
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes ago, you was crying in the bathroom. No, I'm fine. I'm all right. Then a minute, somebody gets smart with you. Somebody cuts you off on the road or something. You explode. That's the importance of speaking up.
Yeah, and that's why I valued our job too, at Friendship, because a lot of those kids are in broken homes where um, they're one of their parents might not be around. Like usually, most common is usually the father that's not around,
Mm-hmm.
or the parents work so much and they got to be the one to take care of their little brother and little sister. Um, so they don't have anyone to talk to. So they let it bottle up inside. And that's why I value standing at that door where all the kids came in, because you was their first contact after they got cussed out for breakfast. Because I've seen plenty of kids get cussed out for breakfast, and that's why I value being at that door, because I could catch them before they explode, before
Yeah.
that soda explodes.
Agree.
I catch them and just set it down and let it calm down first before sending them to class. Because I've had plenty of kids, like I said, come in and their parents say, I'm gonna whoop your ass when you get home and all this other stuff. And they run into that bathroom right on the side there and just be in there crying, and then go to class still with that built up frustration and end up getting in trouble. But because I'm at that door, I could talk to him and say, "Hey, you're gonna be all right, man. You all right? Here go some Starburst, or here go something.
Yeah.
You know, here go some chips.
Yeah.
Um, and they go have a good day, and and by the end of the day, they waving at you like, "Hey, Mr. Porter, hey, Mr. Cooper." So I value that more than the paycheck, because that paycheck wasn't the greatest. But I value standing at that door because I know I can make a difference uh, between a kid exploding and a kid smiling at you saying, "Hey, Mr. Cooper, Mr. Porter."
Agree. I agree 1,000%. And we got that same personality. Far as like, and I always say, I want to make a difference. I want to be that person that I didn't have when I was in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there wasn't a lot of many of us in school. You know what I'm saying? There weren't a
Right.
lot of many people, and that's people who not even a teacher, and they're saying like, "Hey, hope you have a great day." And there are some teachers who are doing an excellent job of that, who are males and females, like having that extra. Hey, you good? You need something? Make sure that person smiles. You never
Mm-hmm.
know how like your one word or one conversation can impact a young life. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely commend you on that. You were definitely inspiration on me, just bettering myself in my job and in life in general, pretty much.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that even though I left there 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we still stayed in contact.
Yeah, yeah, and look how everything's happening right now, pretty
I
much.
know, right? Yeah.
So I always ask this question, and people have a great outlook on it, pretty much. How important is self love to you?
Um, Now I know this is gonna sound cliche,
It's cool.
but how could you expect anyone else to love you if you don't love yourself?
It's facts.
So I believe in that wholeheartedly. Like, how can I expect, um, my friends, my family, my daughter to love me if I don't love myself? Like, if I'm angry and not liking myself, uh, and I could really, I mean, I know babies, they sense that. Like, they sense if you're frustrated. So if I'm frustrated with everything that's going on, she's gonna be frustrated too. And I don't want to see that. So that's why I have to, before I walk in this house every day, I make sure I'm calm and cool. Um, and because I know she's expecting me to love myself and love her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also, um, this is also cliche. How could you love someone else if you don't love yourself? So,
Great.
uh, you know, that's it's important to love yourself and have confidence in yourself that you can conquer the world. Because if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? So,
Facts.
yeah.
Facts. You gotta give yourself that love because you gotta give yourself the greatest love in the world is loving yourself. That
Mm-hmm.
affects every area of your life. Your spouse, your kids, your loved ones, your job, how you treat yourself, how you carry yourself, just everything. You have to love yourself. Um, Pretty much, and go to my last question before we close. I always ask my guests what motivates them. Pretty much, you get up in the mirror, you brushing your teeth, want to get your day started. Probably headed to the gym, about to kill some weights. What motivates you every morning?
So, when I wake, I mean, you know how when you work out, you have that pump.
Okay,
So when I wake up in the morning and see, I look at my arms or whatever, I'm like,
okay,
I did good in the gym yesterday. Like, I'm a little sore, but I'm good. And and also just I mean, before the pandemic, if I had a wrestling show coming up that Saturday, that was influencing me. I'm like, okay, I gotta get ready for Saturday. I gotta get ready for Saturday. I gotta be right for Saturday. I gotta be able to move. I gotta have everything in sync for Saturday, for my match Saturday. Um, but now with the pandemic, you just gotta kind of find a new influence, a new motivation, and of course I found that, and she's gonna be my motivation forever. Like, I mean, she's my screensaver on my phone. So as
that's
soon
all.
as I pick up my phone,
Mm-hmm.
I see that picture. As soon as I look over, she's sleeping in the bed. So um, that's my motivation every day that I wake up is to uh, get up out of this house, go to work, go to the gym, and now with everything going on in the world, making it home in one piece.
Yeah,
So that's my motivation every day is to make it back home to her. So, um, and then again, I'm looking at my motivation now. Looking at NXT because I I've been around for a while. I've been in wrestling for a while, so um, I've wrestled, pretty much everywhere on this coast. Again, from Pennsylvania to Maryland, Virginia, New York, all over the place. So I have friends that are actually on TV now. So that influenced me. Like, hey, I can still make it. Like, I got friends there. Like, not that they'll get me in, but just you know, them making it, I know I can too.
you would definitely will.
Like, why not me?
Yeah,
Uh, so I mean, those are my motivations. Just wrestling still. I mean, that's always going to be my motivation. And Lil Sidney. Those are my motivation. Every morning that I wake up, and just because I did wake up, because there are plenty of people that didn't wake up. So just the fact that I woke up is it should be motivation enough, because God seen fit for me to wake up, to do something, whether it's putting that water on a plane or um, making a flight attendant or a pilot's day better, just because I actually had a couple of flight attendants, like they'd been dealing with rude passengers all day, and I get on the plane and I say, hey, how's your day going? Can you just smile? Can you have a good day? Or here goes a 6-pack of water.
That's cool.
That's motivation, because I actually had it to where I said that to a flight attendant. I was like, look, I know you don't know me, but can you just smile, because I just want you to smile. And she smiled. It was probably hard for her that day, but when she came back a couple of days later, she was just like, I was having a rough time. I wasn't feeling well. They kept changing my route for the day, and then my mother's been sick. But you just coming on talking to me that day, that made me feel better.
That's awesome.
So that made me feel better, about what I'm here to do. And also, again, what we did at Friendship, what I continue to do at Oval before the pandemic. Um, that's motivation. Like, hey, maybe that's what I'm here to do, to continue to help motivate people and help brighten their day, because they might not have that at home, or at work or anywhere else. But if I can slide in there to do that, then I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing. Like I said before, you definitely has been an inspiration on my life, as far as fitness, as far as just life in general. Audience, anyone who's watching, anyone who's listening, get used to his face, get used to his voice. His name is Sidney Porter. Before you wrap it up, tell the audience where to find you as far as your social media or what you got going on currently before we wrap it up.
As far as what I have going on, is I wish I had something going on, but MCW probably won't be running until next year, maybe. I don't know. We gotta make sure everyone is safe. So, as far as wrestling, I'm trying to find somewhere to wrestle, but when I do find something, I will make sure I post it on my social media, where you can find me on social media. I always forget my Instagram name, but it is S Porter Jr. at
Yeah,
Instagram. Simply Sid on Twitter. That's SMP, which is my initials, LY Sid on Twitter, and Sidney Porter on Facebook. That's SIDNEY. And the podcast is coming soon. I do not have a name for it yet,
it's coming.
but
It's coming.
I am petitioning out all over social media and all over the world to help me find a name. So help me out. Uh, and yeah, you will be seeing this face and hearing this voice very soon. So watch out.
All right, watch out. Definitely, again, brother, I appreciate you. For anyone who's listening, a Walking Purpose podcast is available Sunday on all major platforms. It's also available on YouTube. You also get the visual version of the podcast. Also, we got Walking Purpose Wednesdays. Walking Purpose Wednesdays about guys pretty much giving that motivation about life in general, pretty much. So continue to stay tuned with Uplift Kings. I appreciate every single person for listening. Stay tuned for more.